What's going on, everybody? Welcome into a special edition of the PHNX Suns Podcast. That's right. We are out here in Las Vegas for NBA Summer League. We are presented by Shady Rays, and we're coming to you live from Victory Burger at Circa. So far, it's been a blast, even though it's been just shy of 24 hours. How you guys feeling?
I'm feeling great. I just flew in from Frank Kaminsky's wedding out on the beach.
Stop it.
Got in late last night here to Vegas, and I'm ready to go.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
You look fantastic
Frank,
with the fit, I gotta say.
You guys missed me on all those Instagram stories, the Suns players, where I was behind them. I was saying, that's a good shot, guys. You should go with that one. A fantastic, beautiful ceremony. It was unbelievable, and I'm just glad to be here. Made it in time.
Yeah.
They missed you like they missed me at the white party. So, yeah. It's been fun. It's been fun. Hey, this place is amazing. Mm-hmm. The hotel is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Like it's been a really good experience, and we've only been here for not even 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and listen, we'll just put a couple things out there right now. Tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday, we will be live again at 11 p.m. or a.m. This is our show schedule for Summer League for us here at the PHNX Suns Podcast. And you're just going to have to get used to us sounding all a little bit groggy, voices a little bit raspier than normal, because that's how Vegas works. But we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today surrounding our Phoenix Suns. And first and foremost, we'll start with the trade that went down over the last few days. We got this tweet from Woj saying, picks trade, the Memphis Grizzlies are trading 3 second-round picks to the Phoenix Suns for 2 first-round pick swaps in 2024 and 2023, as well as Isaiah Todd. Sources tell ESPN. The second rounds are the 2025 via the Pels, and Memphis's 2028 and 2029 picks. So that's a lot of movement there. Obviously, quite a few pick things going on, from swaps to second rounders. But here's the thing. Second rounders have become far more valuable these days. How are you guys feeling about this move?
Well, I feel like Woj did him dirty because he called it a picks trade. And
I know,
Isaiah
right?
Todd was the one element that wasn't a pick in it. I felt that was uncalled for by Adrian Wojnarowski.
Yeah, I felt bad, too, because it was literally the day before we got him at Summer League practice, and he was talking about how he gets emotional thinking about, possibly winning a championship with Bradley Beal someday. And then the next day he's traded. I know. We only interacted with him once, but he seems like a good kid with a good head on his shoulders. Yeah. He wants to learn. So I hope he's able to find his place in the league. Wish him well. But this is... it makes sense for the Suns. Isaiah Todd had very little NBA experience. He played like 6 games last year, spent most of his time in the G League, didn't put up very good numbers there. And this way, you bring back some second-round picks that you can throw in a trade and put that $5 million trade exception to good use. So I feel like this could be a move that maybe they're eyeing something, or it could just be for flexibility down the road, trim the roster down. We'll see, but it's, it didn't really come at the expense of anything.
Right.
So, yeah, why not?
I think, going to Gerald's point, I want to say that the offseason will be dead now here soon. Like they might make a move or two, but nothing really big. But everything, like my gut is telling me, I don't know. Something might be cooking behind the scenes that we just don't know yet. I think it's vital that, listen, they might have cut Isaiah Todd anyway, and to do pick swaps to get second-round picks, I think is a smart move. I think it's you need as many assets as you possibly can acquire in order to make some more moves that I think this franchise wants to make. So yeah. I don't know what's afoot. It could be something simple, small. It could be something huge. I wouldn't put the DA stuff out of question. I'm not going to speculate on that, but there's a lot of things that are interesting about this trade and why it happened and how it happened in specifics.
I think Saul, Vegas is seeping into your mind. I think this is simple. You were going to get rid of Isaiah Todd. Somebody said, hey, we'll give you some second-round picks. You've wasted all your draft – well, not wasted. You've gotten rid of all your draft capital for the next few years. I think this is probably with an eye to not this offseason, but maybe the trade deadline where you could leverage second-round picks and some of these contracts if you need something then, because you always need draft sweetener. There's not a lot of options right now that you have, but second-round picks somehow have become in vogue. So
Well,
but that's the thing about this is it sets you up for a little bit of flexibility, not just now if you wanted to make a move, but down the road too. Like, this is a great move. Like you were saying, the idea that Isaiah Todd would have been on this team, we were already talking about him probably being that guy who got cut. Of course, you're giving up a little bit maybe within the pick swap, but you can never know for sure what that's going to actually look like. Obviously, the 1 in 2030, I think, is probably going to be the more potentially valuable one. You give up a little bit of capital, and you get back 3 second-round picks, which, as you said, Espo, are in vogue right now. We've seen decent players be traded for a handful of second-round picks in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
So this is a solid move for the Suns.
It gives them the possibility to make like one more average-sized move by throwing all those picks on top of each other, or to try and make a little bit smaller moves where you throw one pick in there. Because these picks are not going to be, I mean, they're second-round picks. They're not extremely valuable, but they are like trade sweeteners that you can throw in, and the Suns have 0 of those right now. So you need to stack up what you can.
Do you think Sam Hinkie's sitting somewhere going, I started this second-round pick trend, and I'm not in the league anymore?
I'm sure he is.
Well, here are your flowers, sir. Thanks. We appreciate it.
And just to explain what the Suns gave up in terms of the first-round pick swaps, because I know people have been confused about how that works. So in 2024 and 2030, Memphis will have the right to swap its own first for the lesser of the Suns or Wizard first-round pick. So, like, let's say the Wizards get the 10th pick, the Suns get the 20th pick, and the Grizzlies get the 25th pick. That would mean the Grizzlies can swap. They would have the 20th pick. And Phoenix would be moved back to 25. But that's assuming that the Grizzlies are better than the Suns by that point. Next season, I don't see it. Maybe in 2030, they'll move a couple of spots. But we're assuming with Matt Ishbia and the roster that they put together, they're going to try to be competitive. And that's 7 years down the road, so we have no idea.
And with these swaps, like, we still have picks.
Yes.
We just don't know which one yet.
Right.
And other people have the right to be able to be like, I'll take that one. You
Yes.
have this one. But we still have picks.
And on top of that, if we're still in the second apron, that shit gets moved all the way to the back of the freaking round anyway.
Right.
So the pick swap might be irrelevant anyway.
But does that work? See, I want to know how that works. Is that actually how it works, or do they get to choose where you would have been slotted? Because honestly, if that is the second apron rule and they simply get what's at the back end, I'd be trading. Every time a first round pick became available, I'd just be dealing it because you knew it would move directly to the back of the first.
Well, it wouldn't be valuable at all for the other teams,
I know,
too, right?
But that's the genius behind it.
I know. Matt Ishbia is playing 4D chess, right? You look at it, he let Chris Paul go. Chris Paul winds up with the Warriors, and then Dame Lillard went, well, I would have liked to gone to the Warriors. Well, screw you. You don't get to go to the Warriors because Matt Ishbia is playing 4D chess. Also, speaking of screw you, Darth Voida in the chat, our friend, said the Suns wouldn't have had a draft pick until Espo was 50. That's why they needed to get some second rounders. I would have been 47. Thank you very much.
We need that distinction.
Don't age him beyond his years, Darth.
I do that
Don't
well
you dare.
enough myself.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Man.
Yeah, so that means when we're looking ahead to tonight's game for the Summer Suns, the first one of Summer League for them, we will not be seeing Isaiah Todd. So one less player to really keep an eye out on, but we wish him the best. I know it was a short-lived time, and we didn't really get to know him, but he seemed real sweet and genuine, so we still want the best for him wherever he ends up landing.
He had a Danny Granger-esque run here with the Phoenix Suns. So.
Don't you besmirch the legend. The UNM legend. Don't you do it.
Emma, do we have that tribute video for Isaiah Todd queued
Come
up?
on.
No? All right.
No, but we do have a super chat from Horridscape. Thank you for your super chat. They said, quote, "You look great in that fedora," said no one ever.
Damn.
That's why I think they're
Damn,
throwing
Horrid.
shade at
Damn,
you.
Horrid.
Apparently, Horrid can't read because further up in the chat, people love the hat. So
Hey, listen.
The hat is very Vegas.
Espo
has
worn some questionable attire on some of our shows. I think this is a number one outfit of all time.
This is
for
a
him.
fit.
This is a fit. I love the style.
pink
I love
donut shirt, like no love for that.
I love the fact that he stepped out of his comfort zone and embraced his Italian history.
I'm disappointed we have a table because I wore shorts and I've been working out my calves for like 3 weeks just to compete with the two of you.
3 weeks.
Oh, and they're swole, all right? They're swole, and nobody's going to see them now.
They're literally swole. He had iced them
gosh.
yesterday.
HM. It says Espo looking like the Jurassic Park guy.
Yep. Thank you for that super chat, HM. Listen, Espo's Fit is great, okay? We love Espo's Fit, but if you're not into it, we've got other options for you as well. Our friends over at Bird Dog, they make you look good. Bird Dog's stretch khaki shorts are designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and the leg, giving you a truly sculpted look. These are really nice. I was on their website the other day taking a peek at some of the things they offer, and I feel like they look like they would be both comfortable and flattering at the same time, which everyone knows you want to be comfortable, but you also want to wear flattering clothes. So if you are in the market for some new pants or shorts, go to birddogs.com/PHNX or enter promo code PHNX for a free Yeti style tumbler with your order. That's birddogs.com/PHNX or promo code PHNX for a free Yeti style tumbler.
Bird Dogs, when you want your calves to look like Gerald and Saul, but you don't want to put in the work.
And you won't want to take your Bird Dogs off. We promise you that. Listen, if you're not here in Vegas, you could at least make your house feel a little bit like Vegas by picking up a Saturday Neon custom sign. This company was started by two friends and former college roommates, and they make officially licensed collegiate logo LED neon signs. These are beautiful signs. They're so bright and like in the best way possible. It's not like a blinding bright. It's just a very vibrant and colorful neon sign. So they're great for your office. They're great for a studio, a man cave, whatever it is you're looking to spice up.
The cool part, too, is they give you a remote control for those lights.
Ooh.
You can change the dimming on it.
Even better. It could be like a night light, too, which is fantastic. And right now, you can go to SaturdayNeon.com and use code PHNX for 10% off your order today and free shipping for orders over $200. All right, so Isaiah Todd is not playing for the Summer Suns, but who are you guys going to be watching throughout Summer League here?
I'm really focused on Toumani Camara. I really want to see what he's all about. Summer League. So today they play in the Cox Pavilion. So it's kind of a nice little intro into NBA Summer League life.
It's an intimate
because it feels like you're still playing in the rec league gym, in the Aux gym. So I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. Again, we've heard so much about him. A lot of us have not seen a full game. We've seen highlights, from Dayton and stuff like that. But again, Dayton's not a Power 5 school, and it's not it's not the NBA. So I want to see what this kid's all about. He is my singular focus this entire weekend. I want to see what he's all about.
Yeah, I think Kamara is like the obvious answer, and it's mine as well. But I am obviously interested to watch Jordan Goodwin too. There's a little more tape on him, so we know a little bit more about his game to this point. Kamara is kind of the big mystery, and he's the guy that we want to see. Okay, or the Suns, they're pretty high on him so far. Let's see what he's got. I'm also looking at Marcus Carr and Keanu Pinder. These are names that are probably not going to be on the roster, but they are guys that could provide some entertainment because they can hoop. So that's kind
why
of
can they
where I'm
hoop,
looking.
Gerald? Why can Keanu hoop?
Because he can hoop.
Because he went to U of A, baby.
Oh,
He went
oh
to U of
boy.
A.
I should have known that was
Should've
coming.
You
known
walked
that.
right
Should've
into
known.
that.
I thought it was because he could see into the Matrix, but all right. Anyways, bad jokes aside, Jordan Goodwin is obviously a big one for me. We've heard about, from Bradley Beal even, just that this guy's going to be a defensive hawk and everything. So I want to see that. But really what I'm looking forward tonight is to getting some revenge on the Bucks for beating us in the finals. You got to get that summer win to make it clear that we don't put up with any of Milwaukee's crap anymore. So.
I got nothing for you on that one.
I mean, everything I've heard of people who have been around Toumani Camara have just talked about how great of a guy he is. Like off the court, of course, they love his personality. They love how hard he works. And then on the court, they're just talking about how they genuinely feel like he could be somebody at some point in time who does help this team out. And he's one of those guys that everyone's saying is just really easy to root for. And we had him on our show, and he seemed like such a sweetheart. So is Toumani Camara going to be our new sweet baby angel of this team? It's a little early to tell, but hopefully he can be.
He's already mine. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Back off, Lindsay.
All right.
I don't think you were the one who created Sweet
I
Baby
am
Angel, so you
stealing
are not
now
allowed to
because
designate
once
who is
the Sweet Baby Angel left, he no longer existed, and now Tumani Kamara is my Sweet Baby Angel.
The only Sweet Baby Angel this program has is hello in the chat. We know that.
Well,
What the? That was such
Everybody-
a swing and a miss.
They claim they're an angel. I don't
Hello?
know.
There's no
Hello
way.
did say they were an
Emma
angel.
is vetoing that.
Yes,
Also,
hard veto.
Unfortunately, Saul kind of does claim it just a little bit, just because of what happened after he called in when he was like, "Man, I just appreciate a guy with like dress is nice smile, etc." That little smile that he gave us off camera that only we saw.
Yeah,
I think he's Saul's guy.
He's my guy.
he's
Okay?
your
My
guy. Well,
All right.
then
Somebody has to take Landry Shamit's place, and it certainly is not going to be Tumani Kamara because I actually like him. So
God bless.
Can we
Sorry,
bury?
Andrew.
Hold on. Can we bury that? Can we take that out to the desert like Lindsay wanted to
Bro.
take me out to the desert? Can we bury the Shamit thing? We buried him enough on this program. Can we end it?
that's you and Saul.
I did.
It's
Did
you
I say anything?
And Saul.
I love
Greg Esposito
like
and Saul
Landry
Bookman.
Shamit's
like-
Make up your own minds.
Landry
bury
him?
Shamet shot
AKA
37% from three. The man can hit three-point. He shot 50% in the playoffs. I'm not hating on this guy.
Gerald and I
is-
have been over this for already like a year and a half. So by all means, bury it in the desert, Espo. By all means.
I hope
That's
he
like-
just hoops his ass off in DC.
it's like getting in a car accident and you're the driver, and then you look over at your wife and you're like, you know what, we got to drive better. What are you talking about?
Like, bro,
No,
that's you.
I got to drive better.
So you're the wife or I'm the wife? I'm
Hey,
trying to
we're-
understand this analogy.
We're both
No, you're
driving
both the
different cars.
My goodness gracious. All right. Okay. So obviously we're excited to watch the Summer Suns, but there's a lot of cool stuff happening around Summer League as well. We got to see Wemby in his Summer League debut last night, at least Vegas-wise. Obviously got a little bit spicy on the internet about Wemby. How are you guys feeling about the way that the reaction has been?
I said this on Twitter a couple days ago, even before his debut. I could see it. I see shades of what happened to DA to a certain degree, and so maybe I have a little PTSD, but the kid is 18 years old. It's his debut. He already got like shit on for a stupid ass video that somebody took of him just taking warm up jump shots for a photo shoot in a San Antonio Spurs uniform, like literally like a day or two after he got drafted. And I just was like, dude, who gives a shit? He's got talent. He's got skill. Like, he's going to be a very good player. You could see that in his game. Is he weak? Yes, because he's 18 years old and he's 7 foot a million tall. Like, that's just who he is. Like, I'm so done with everybody just shitting and trying to make this instant reaction of a player that is clearly coming to a new kind of game at the NBA level. You got to give him a chance to adjust at this level. And I'm so over people trying to bag on a kid. He's a kid, folks. He's a fucking kid. I don't give a shit if he makes millions of dollars. I don't care. He's a kid. Like, just back the fuck off a little bit and let him breathe and try to figure this out. Maybe after a year, if you want to make the same accusations or assumptions, cool, that's fine. But it's one game.
Yeah.
It's a summer league game. Chill.
Hey, Gerald, can I share some stats?
Sure.
I'm not gonna tell you the player. I'm gonna give you the stat line from their first summer league game here, right?
There we go.
26 minutes, 4 of 11, 0 for 4 from 3, 3 fouls, 12 points. You want to know who that was?
Who?
2015 Devin Booker.
Okay.
Do not base anything off of the first time you see a guy on the court
Bust.
in freaking summer league. All right,
Yeah.
I've seen. Everybody thought Archie Goodwin was going to be the second coming of God knows who by summer league basis. Summer league is about experimenting, working on your game. Wemby had never played in any kind of NBA level at all. He's 18. He's coming from France. There's an adjustment just to being here. I think it's ridiculous that everybody's like, oh, he's a bust. He's just not going to be able to make it in this league. He's too thin. Guess what? There's a weight room in the NBA. I'm pretty sure Pop's going to get him a little bit bigger than he is at 18 in summer league. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. He needs to have his security guy apologize to Britney Spears.
This I am in agreement with.
Get rid of the Britney Spears curse because.
Also, those Britney fans went hard on him last night. Like, if there was one group of people who was probably the most critical of Wemby last night, it was Britney fans.
Yeah, but it's not
at least just have him apologize.
But it's not on Wemby.
No, it's not on Wemby, but he's going to take the heat for it because he's the name that's attached to it. It's not his fault whatsoever. Yeah. It is not his responsibility to apologize. But if he did, it would be really cool.
But you know how this stupid-ass game of telephone works? Some obscure fan somewhere else is going to be like, remember, I heard he hit Britney Spears. Like, no, he's not the one that hit Britney Spears. Everybody just stop.
Hold on. Let me say that when I think of good basketball analysis and the people I want to trust about an 18-year-old NBA prospect, I turn to Britney Spears fans to break down my basketball players. That's what I look for.
Britney Spears was getting buckets outside on a court in 2017, and that video resurfaced. So I don't know what you're talking about, Espo.
Yeah,
fake.
It was kind of funny.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, Wemby will be fine. He's a little skinny. He needs to get stronger. He needs to work on his conditioning. That's something he said after the game. But he'll be fine. He had a couple of really nice moves off the crossover and the dish. He still had like 5 blocks, despite struggling. He shot the ball like shit, and it didn't look good, but he'll be fine. He probably had those opening game jitters and all the other stuff that was going on, the extracurricular stuff.
Can we talk about the poster, though? The best part of that poster, I was rewatching the game today. On the broadcast, the Spurs GM is literally he's in one box, the game's in the other. Doris Burke is interviewing him, and he has to watch his number 1 pick get totally postered.
Yeah.
How awkward is that, right?
Yeah, that was rough.
I mean, listen, like, Wemby's going to come into the league with at least a low-key target on his back, simply because the hype around him and how tall he is, people are going to want to poster him. It is what it is. They're going to be like, oh, look at this big old guy. Let me see if I can get up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the Summer League dunks are low-key the best dunks of the year. That
they
we get.
are.
Oh, yeah,
they're fun. It's all good. I don't know. Just give Wemby some time. It'll be fine. But Suns' first Summer League game tips off tonight at 6 p.m., so make sure you guys are watching along, and we will be there as well. And you can follow along on Twitter at PHNX_Suns. Also, if you are looking for a great place to grab some food this weekend, check out our friends over at Burrito Express. They have multiple Valley locations. Obviously, the one in Tempe is the most centrally located, and we love that one over there. They are a fantastic group of people. They continually are in the community. They support ASU athletics and athletes, and we absolutely love our friends over at Burrito Express. So go grab a burrito, and also make sure you follow them on Twitter at BurritoEXP to keep up with the latest of what they're doing on their side of things. Also, if you haven't noticed, we all are rocking glasses here today because our friends over at Shady Rays hooked us up for our trip out here to Vegas.
Yeah, it's for a reason. It's not because we're all hungover.
I mean, that's definitely one perk of being friends with Shady Rays is that we can use this as an excuse to hide the hangovers, right?
Little column A, little column B.
But whether you're looking for sunglasses, my glasses today are blue light glasses, and I absolutely love them because normally when I wear like actual glasses like these that aren't like shaded, there's a huge glare on them. And these don't really show a glare when you wear them on camera because all of the lights, and I love that. Yeah. Plus, they're protecting my eyes from this computer screen here. If you guys are in the market for some new sunglasses or blue light glasses, check out Shady Rays.
I honestly didn't even realize they had blue light glasses.
I know.
And then when you would put them on the other day, I was like, holy shit, they got blue light glasses? I have a pair, and I don't really like them. Yeah. So I'm definitely going to go to Shady Rays and get a new pair.
Well, exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to ShadyRays.com and use code PHNX for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. All right, guys. You ready to play a game?
Yes.
Yes.
We love a game here at PHNX Suns. What we're going to do right now is if all of these players were on the same team and at their peak, who would come off the bench? We've got Devin Booker, we've got Kevin Durant, Charles Barkley, Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, and Walter Davis.
Damn. This is easy.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier for me on this one.
It's 100% Amari.
Oh.
No.
I was going to go Walter
100%
Davis.
Amari.
Oh.
Amari's game doesn't fit today. If we're playing today's game.
What?
Are you seeing Amari stretching the floor?
Who are you playing at center?
Oh, my God.
I'm playing KD at center with this group.
Amari's game doesn't fit in today's NBA?
Does he? Did he stretch the floor?
Oh
He
my
didn't
God.
rebound as well as everybody wanted. You leave Amari off this. You got Walter Davis hitting shots like
Oh,
crazy.
my God.
Katie Book. Barkley can hit and can play down low. He rebounds like a beast. It is 100. And Steve Nash is dissing the ball to these guys.
Look.
Yeah, I'm bringing Amari off the bench as my sixth man, and I'm winning a title with that group.
Look, no disrespect to the Suns' all-time leading scorer, but he's 1,000% coming off the bench with those 6.
Oh, give me
Like
you're
1,000%.
you're putting Walter Davis on the bench.
Yes.
One of the
1,000,000%.
greatest shooters in Suns history. This is recency bias
He was
and
a
a bunch
great-
of guys that don't know understand
He would
the
be
history of this
fantastic
team.
off the
Did you just
bench,
tell me
though.
I don't understand the history
No,
of
you
this
don't
game?
understand the history of the Phoenix Suns if you're saying Walter Davis is the guy you put on the bench.
He
That's
shot.
not the purpose of this
If you're going to bring a
exercise.
3%
He
percentage,
couldn't shoot threes.
it wasn't
He's
a big
mid-range
part
shooter.
of the game.
He's a mid-range
The
shooter.
whole freaking Suns roster is based on mid-range shooters
no,
right
it's
now.
not. No, it's not. They can shoot threes as well.
Espo, are you
God.
still drunk?
The
You
mid-range
must be drunk.
assassins.
There's no
we
way he
talked
honestly
about the
believes
mid-range.
this.
Yeah, no, you do not bench
Oh my
Sweet
God.
D.
Yes, you do.
No, you
Absolutely
don't.
$1,000,000%
You
do.
don't.
That's
he
the
can't
easiest
shoot
call.
threes. He
You're-
can
you
come
don't.
in and shoot from the mid-range and be a six-man
Wow.
scorer. That sounds nicer to me than Amari, who needs a point guard to work with in the pick and roll, and you already have Nash in the starting lineup.
Oh man, I totally agree with Gerald. I think Sweet
Yeah.
D's coming off the bench. He would be a good bench scorer. He'd be like in the microwave 2.0. I just think the other pieces would fit together, and everybody else's high was much higher than Walter Davis.
Yeah.
I don't care if he's the all-time leading scorer in Suns history in this regard.
You're so wrong. How are you playing Amari and Barkley together out there?
They do
You're-
different
You're
things.
not. It's not going to work. You're not playing Amari and Barkley together out there.
Yes, you are.
No, you're not. It's just that doesn't work. It does not work.
So I was thinking that this was going to be across the board Walter Davis. So I decided to come with a substitute for him because I thought we were just going to all be in agreement here.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise, we're not. But since I already came
You
up with a
underestimated
substitute,
Espo.
I did. Let's
The
do
one
this
man
as
that
well.
understands all this.
We're going to sub Walter Davis for Chris Paul. So now we've got Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Charles Barkley, Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, and Chris Paul.
Yeah.
All in their prime, right? At their peak.
Oh.
Same team at their peak. Remember who comes off the
That's
bench
easy.
now.
It's Chris Paul comes off the bench.
No.
You never know. You're going to bench two-time
Yes.
MVP
Yes.
Steve
Oh
Nash.
my
You
God.
guys are
Steve
idiots.
Nash.
Yes.
You are so
Oh
idiots.
my God.
Two-time MVP, one of the best passers ever in this league, better than Chris Paul.
Oh my God.
No, and you never had a backup for Nash. CP3 comes off this
If we're
bench.
talking about
peak.
at their peak,
At their
Chris
peak.
Steve
Paul
Nash
is
was a better
At
point
their
guard
peak.
at his peak
No, he
than
was
Chris
not.
Paul
No, he
for
was
this
not.
type of team.
No, he
He's
was
not.
not.
Yes.
No, he was not.
because Chris Paul could do more than just pass, and he was not afraid to
Steve
take a
Nash
shot.
was one of the best shooters. He
but
did
he
not
didn't
do it.
But he even said that he should
And
have shot
said-
more.
Yeah,
in
but
big
don't
moments.
say he couldn't shoot. It's not a he couldn't
I
shoot.
want
he
to know
didn't.
that you're going to shoot, not that you're going to sit there and second guess
With
yourself.
this roster, you don't need him to shoot. You need him to get everybody the rock where they want
and
it.
Chris Paul's one of the best
Not-
at that, at setting
not-
people up to do that.
Steve Nash was better.
no.
Higher
Oh,
on the
man.
all-time assist list, better passer. Go look
What
at
about
the Steve
defense?
Nash highlights.
What about defense?
Defense.
I'd give you Chris Paul on the defensive end, but with this roster, you're not worrying about defense.
You're not with
If
Chuck
you took
and with
every franchise's peak
and Amari?
players,
I'm
You're
saying
not
you're
worried
not
about
playing
defense?
defense. Because when you look at this group ain't playing defense.
wow. And I don't know what you're talking about. Chris Paul is higher than Nash on the
Did he
all-time
move
assist
past
line.
him?
Yeah, he's
Well,
been past him.
screw him.
He's third
Screw
all time.
him. He's with the Warriors.
And at his peak, he was 1,000%.
Two-time
the guy.
MVP.
Oh,
Two-time
no.
MVP. And DePaz, I saw your comment. Just remember who's your boss, all right?
I-
why do you always you defer to that?
Because
No,
it's
use your
it's
words,
the
not your
card
power,
It's
okay,
the card
guy?
I have to play.
Jesus.
It's the card I have to play.
love Nash.
Oh,
love the
no.
two-time MVP.
Sean, don't worry about it. You're safe.
But yeah, at their peak,
Sean sent us a super chat. Thank you, Sean. Said, mute Espo. CP3 disrespect disgusting. Sean DePaz of our
Nash was
PHNX
the better point
D-back
guard.
show.
He was not. That is objectively false.
You know, here's the
MVP
thing.
revolutionized offense in the game.
Steve Nash
was one of the best passers you would ever see. Go watch the damn highlights.
That's not a lie. That's not a lie. He was one of the best passers. I do think he's a better passer than Chris Paul. But in terms of this team, everybody at their peak, you're talking about scoring, passing, defense, the whole package. Chris Paul by a mile is better than Steve Nash. On top of that, Steve Nash was fun. He was fun, and that's your bias right now. Is because he brought back the 7 seconds left.
Go
was
back
fun.
and watch the
Chris
passing.
Paul is the better point guard.
I think that's what's going on right now is that there's a lot of you've got a lot of personal investment in these guys,
No.
and I can relate to that 100% of the time, but I think you are allowing the personal side to
You're getting personal.
First
lead
off,
your
bullshit,
emotions
all
are
right?
leading.
First off,
Your
bullshit. I was an
decision-making
Amari
today.
guy over a Nash guy. I was a bigger Amari fan than I ever was a Nash fan, and I benched Amari in the first group, and I'm starting Steve Nash in this, and I liked Chris Paul too. So like, it's not personal.
But you didn't love Chris Paul the way that you loved those other guys.
I really didn't love Steve Nash. I appreciated him after the fact.
Where are we
when
going
I
now?
watched him.
It's like I actually hated
No,
the guy, but
I mean,
I
this
really
guy-
just think this.
I mean, this guy came in dressed as like a mob boss on the weekend.
Yeah,
and now
and
is
I'm
trying
picking
to,
you off
and
one
he's
by
trying to
one.
cement everybody else.
Oh no, we got another super chat. This
Like,
one
you
from
don't like me,
Sons and
DePaz?
8.
You're done.
He said, "Someone check Espo's cup." I mean, Espo, have you had one too many 4 peaks to start the day?
Let me say this.
Huh.
If we had all sat here and I said, yeah, bench Walter Davis, start CP3, this would have been the most boring segment we have ever done on this program.
We really
don't know.
appreciate your confidence in us.
Jeez. Jeez.
Well, listen, Espo is cut off, but you are not. You guys can pick up some 4 Peaks beer before the game tips off this evening. You know, Suns basketball and 4 Peaks beer, they go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. You could check out the Arizona Diamondbacks Rattle On Red Ale. It is smooth as all get out. And, of course, they've got the Suns Brew. They've got the Kilt Lifter. They've got the Wow Wheat. So many different options from our friends over at 4 Peaks. You can also head on down to the 4 Peaks Pub in Tempe, which is a great atmosphere with all the beers and really phenomenal food. So check them out at 4 Peaks Brew or at 4 Peaks Pub on social to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. You must be 21 years or older to drink 4 Peaks, and we ask that you drink responsibly. Espo, responsibly. Just kidding. I know
I'm
that's
sober.
coffee.
I feel great. There ain't nothing going on. No red eyes.
I'm only
good to go
teasing.
here.
I'm only teasing.
Go here.
All right. Summer League is a time for making memories. And oftentimes, when you come to Summer League, you leave with some really great stories. Espo, I know you have some stories you'd like to share.
Not anymore. You people have made me feel like I
Screw
shouldn't
you guys,
talk
I'm
on this
going
show.
home.
I have nothing. You know what? I watched some basketball while I was here over the 8 years I've done this, and I went home. Those are
That's
my
it?
stories.
That's
Do
absolutely
you guys
it.
want an Archie?
I survived the earthquake.
I
was
did
here
too.
for the
I was here for
earthquake.
that.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was bizarre. And that was right during Zion's first game.
Yeah.
That was bizarre. Do you want an Archie Goodwin story or the story of how Mark Cuban almost got me fired?
that one.
Yeah.
You want the Mark Cuban?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So this is probably Summer League 2013. Second time being here to run social for the Suns account. Back then, it was kind of the Wild West. We were all still trying to figure out how to do this thing appropriately. So a lot of the NBA teams would basically spend Summer League just giving each other shit. I mean, that was the whole name of the game back then. So we'd be tweeting during games, just talking an immense amount of crap because we understood meaningless games, right? So let's entertain the people. So this game, I think it was like all the forwards and centers had fouled out. Like it was,
Oh my
it was in the
gosh.
second half. It was one of the ugliest basketball games I'd ever seen. This is for both teams. So the Mavs guy and I are going back and forth and chirping. And I say, oh, well, if only Mark Cuban had invested in some big men on Shark Tank, we wouldn't have this problem, right?
Uh-oh.
So Mark Cuban saw it.
Oh, no.
And he's there at the game, and so is Sarver, and he's livid, right? And the Mavs guy messages me and says, Cuban's livid about what you just said. Because he thought I was referring to their off season and not the summer league roster.
Oh.
So he's like, you better delete the tweet. Like, I'm going to go talk to him. I'm trying to make him feel better. He wants your job, basically. He's coming for your job. And I'm like, if Mark Cuban goes to Robert Sarver, well, first off, Robert Sarver will go, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
I don't know who this guy is, because I can't tell you how many times he'd walk up, grab my press pass, and go, "Are you one of mine?"
Oh, God.
Literally.
No, but that was a thing.
No, that was a thing, and he did it to me multiple times.
Are you one of mine?
Are you one of mine? He'd look at the press pass. Are you one of mine?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
With what you're
Are
paying
you
me,
one of
probably
mine?
not,
Do you
Robert.
belong to me? All that type of shenanigans.
Yeah, with
for sure.
with what you're paying me, probably not, Robert. But all right. And then the other thing, he had no clue who I was. I think I've told the story about I had put in my 2 weeks. I get a call, and he's like, "Hey, are you that Espinoza guy that runs our social?" So he had no clue who I was. But Mark Cuban was ready to get me fired. So I had to talk to the Mavs guy. He had to go talk with Cuban because he had a pretty good relationship with Cuban. Must have been nice. And he talked him back off the ledge. And then we had to, like, on our social accounts, show that we were cool, like me and the other social guy, and like had to make it very clear there was no beef because websites picked it up. This was back when aggregating this shit was a big deal.
Wait, back when? I thought this was still a thing.
Well, no, but like massive, like, and it would go big on these blogs. So I start during the game seeing Mavs Suns beef. Like, I was like, oh my God, we were joking. It's Summer League. Like, really? So that's how Mark Cuban almost got me fired at Summer League.
Wow. Yeah.
So basically what you're saying, it's your fault that teams can't go back and forth at each other now as much because you created too much drama.
No, it's Mark Cuban's fault for being overly sensitive. You rich billionaire baby.
Oh, my God.
So he said, I'm going to double down right now on this show.
I mean, geez, okay.
You really pissed him off with that last segment.
I think we should take ALLCITY on Shark Tank now. Let's go.
I really hope I get to see Mark Cuban during this.
Oh
this
my
little
God.
You know what?
weekend.
We should find him, and I should tell him the story how he almost got me fired.
That would be so
You
awesome.
should.
Because he doesn't remember, I guarantee
Oh,
it.
no.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely.
That's funny.
If he remembered that, oh, my God.
Jeez.
That would be insane.
You're that guy?
Listen, I don't have any cool stories, but I do want to say a few things about just like this whole environment. If you have never been to Summer League, like, I'm not even trying to hype it up. I'm not even trying to sell you on Circa. It speaks for itself. But like, we went to NBA Con yesterday, and I don't feel like a lot of people know what the hell that is or that it's even going on, but it's going on in conjunction with Summer League. They even have a shuttle that'll take you from one to the other, which is dope. But it's basically like Comic-Con for NBA folks.
It's the first time they've ever done it,
Yeah,
too.
it's really cool. It's out at Mandalay Bay. Lindsay, myself, and Espo went out there yesterday. They even hooked us up with free merch that you can iron on different logos and stuff like that. So, like, Lindsay and I got pairs of shorts, and Espo got like a little satchel.
It's not a man purse. It's a satchel,
It's
goddamn.
like
Indiana
the same
Jones
thing
wears
that
one.
What's his guy in Hangover wore.
Yeah, it's
So it
exactly like
works.
that. So, but it's fun. A lot of interactive games and stuff, and you can see some of it on like my social. I posted a couple things. I think you did too.
Oh, yeah. We balling with the NBA Larry O'Brien trophy.
Yeah.
It's going to be ours next year.
So it's really dope. It's really cool. And then on top of that, going to Summer League and just watching ball all day, like, Vegas in Summer League is just like such a perfect match. And I'm telling you, folks, if you have the opportunity to come out, you should. If you have the opportunity to come out and stay at Circa, you should.
Yeah.
Because this place, I've stayed at a lot of places on the Strip. This, to me, is a top 3 spot that I've ever stayed at, period.
Yeah.
Not even Vegas included. It's been amazing.
I said 8 summer leagues. I've stayed at some of the nicest hotels with the team. I also had to stay at a pyramid with a slanted roof for 2 weeks, or slanted wall for 2 weeks. This is the nicest I've been at. This is unbelievable. And, you know, there's something to be said for hanging out on Fremont Street. That's fun as well. So I highly recommend Circa if you're coming out here. Lindsay's getting choked up. She loves Circa so much. She just can't handle it. All
I'm
right.
sorry. Apparently, the allergies out here in Vegas are worse than in Phoenix.
Gerald did, yes, he did drop the ball again this year. He had a chance to meet J. Cole.
I did not
and
have
he
a
got
chance
scared,
to meet J. Cole.
and he walked the other way.
I did not
Wow,
have a
At
chance.
least that's how it played
to
off in
meet
my
J.
head.
Cole. That's
Wow.
always how
No,
it
what
plays in your
happened
head.
was he went up and said, "Hey, J. Cole, I'm Girth," and he looked at his sneakers and he just turned around
That's
and walked.
true.
Too
That's
dirty.
true.
Dirty.
Too
This is
dirty.
true.
Unreal.
We're just
Dirty
throwing
Air
shade
Force
at
Ones.
everybody.
I know. I was just fucking sitting here.
Las Vegas, where dreams are made and friendships fall apart.
In the words of J. Cole, GOMD. That's all I have to say.
Larry in the chat said, "Gotta try that Circle pool. It's dope." We're gonna be out there tomorrow,
Yes.
actually, so we're really excited about that. And then tonight, aren't they showing like the UFC fight tonight out at the
Oh,
pool?
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, yep.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, so that's gonna be pretty
What's
dope
really
too.
cool is like, I mean, if I don't want to go out to the pool, I could just watch it from my room.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh my goodness!
I
gracious.
can't, but I'll come over to your room.
Yeah.
I'm on the other side of the building.
Also,
but-
like this sports book too. I think this is like
Unbelievable.
one of the biggest sports books in Vegas. It's just from wall to wall. It's just awesome. The seating, the amenities. Like, dude, I don't usually get impressed by casinos because I feel like a lot of them have a lot of the same
Yeah.
things. This one, I'm telling you, folks, it's just every little detail has been awesome. It's been amazing.
Well, there was one thing on NBA Con. Yeah, I did. I showed the Countercade NBA Jam little thing. A super chat for $179 gets me that. So just so you guys know.
Triple B in the chat said, "Do we know who's coaching the Suns in Summer League?" It is Quentin Crawford. And I'm actually I know we talked about players we're excited to see in Summer League, but I'm curious to get to know Quentin Crawford a little bit more too, because a lot of times they pick the number 2 guy or number 3 guy to coach the Summer League team. Obviously, we know Kevin Young is probably, quote unquote, the number 2 guy this year. But I am interested to get to know Quentin Crawford a little bit and get an idea of maybe what he'll be on this coaching staff.
Yeah.
Not at Summer League, but of the Suns.
Yeah, he's coached Summer League before, and he was talking about how these reps as a head coach are always valuable. He's a young guy. He's only like 30-some years old.
32.
So, yeah, so this is kind of – sometimes those younger guys get tasked with, the Summer League thing. But it's always cool to see how they coach, what their coaching style is like, and see them interact with players that might actually be on the roster like Jordan Goodwin, like Tumani Kamara. And he's had glowing things to say about those two. So the other thing that he mentioned was being a part of Frank Vogel's coaching staff in Orlando, in LA. He's got a real familiarity with the defensive schemes and the systems that they're going to implement. So that's a leg up for Jordan and for Tumani to start to get that experience, get those reps in the system, start to get familiar with the stuff that everybody's going to be learning in training camp. And that allows it to be a little bit more streamlined heading in, so that it's not, a bunch of new faces all trying to learn a new system at the same time. That definitely helps.
I like his business-like approach, too. I mean, I know you hear that a lot with Summer League, but he seems really to be preaching to these guys, you don't get a lot of these opportunities, especially the fringe guys on this roster. It's, hey, you're getting a chance to have the NBA see you, executives from across the league. Don't go out and do something stupid, because this could be your chance. And I like that mentality, because I think when you're young, you don't value how getting those opportunities is so important, right? You look at it and you go, there'll be more. I'm 20, whatever. And then you look back later in life and you go, I squandered a few of those opportunities. If I had taken advantage of them, what could have been? I'm not speaking personally. I've made all great choices, but
Of course.
but there's guys like this, and I like that Quentin Crawford has made that very clear to these young guys.
I think one of the other things that I'm really looking forward to and watching, in speaking to him after the game and just kind of seeing how he goes through his process. He's been around some really good coaches in the past, and even in college, he played for one. I think his development as a coach is something to definitely keep an eye on, because listen, Frank Vogel, he's had stints of 4 or 5 years, but at some point, sometimes the end of the road is there, and you want to see who might be there. We already know about Kevin Young. We already know about Fizdale, but somebody like Quentin Crawford, who's kind of a young and up and coming coach, is definitely interesting. Also, we talked about who are we keeping an eye on in terms of Suns players, right? There's also, like, to you guys' point about players trying to make an impact. They're trying to do this for other teams as well. And even the Nuggets guys were talking about Nico Mannion for the Bucks and how phenomenal he looked yesterday in Summer League. You're going to get an opportunity to see him today because he plays for the Bucks and the Suns play the Bucks today. So when we're talking about roster spots, sometimes we kind of forget these Summer League roster spots. Some of these guys don't have guaranteed contracts, so you might be able to find somebody who's impressive in the Summer League to add to your roster for down the road. So it's just fun. That's why Summer League is so awesome, because you never know.
Mm-hmm. Hey, can I do something real quick before I know we're almost done? Can I take a second? Gerald, I never got you an engagement gift.
Oh my God.
I got you one over here.
Oh, look at that.
Just for you. An engagement gift from me. And maybe the people at Circa that I had nothing to do with.
Maybe with the Circa bag. Okay, so
you can share it with the fiance.
We can see what we got in here. Ooh, we got the hat.
Two of them.
Circa hats.
One for you and Amy.
You and the missus.
That's fantastic.
I'm thoughtful for both of you. All right.
Okay.
I can look.
I feel like I'm an Instagram influencer.
Yeah,
what do we have in the box today?
2 shirts too. See,
okay, we got.
I didn't forget the fiance.
This shirt is actually very soft.
Is it really?
It's really soft.
Only the softest for you, Girth. I
don't
don't buy
all.
shitty shirts for you, all right?
Soft Girth.
We do have super chats to get to real quick. One from James. James, thank you for your $10 super chat. We appreciate you. Said, I'm finally here for a stream. Yes, Wemby will be standard Bugman and be a long-term project to convert to the NBA.
Thank you, James.
James, we're glad you're here. Thank you. Come back tomorrow at 11 as well. We also got one from Libertarian Sasquatch. Thank you. Said, all I can think about is Espo dressed like Stanley Hudson from The Office when he went on vacation to Florida.
Vegas Espo is not regular Espo.
Yeah, Libertarian, you're not wrong on that one.
I got some stuff coming for you, all right?
And then we got one from Max. Thank you, Max. Said, shout out to Saul for hounding me for months about Circa. This place is epic and y'all look great. Especially Espo, who's my Cuban cigar dealer. And great shirt, Gerald. Pop that on. Product placement, baby. If you guys don't know, Max is on our partnership side of things. So we love Max. Thank you, Max. And then we also got one from Manuel. Thank you. Said, here's to a softer... No, somebody else read this one. I'm not reading it. Manuel.
Here's to a softer Girth.
I don't like that at all.
You almost got me, but
I think we ran into something today. If maybe instead of you guys just hounding Gerald, oh, come you guys don't ask these questions and blah blah blah. It just call
softer
him
Girth.
Softer Girth.
Softer Girth.
Why would you do that to Gerald?
His nickname keeps getting worse.
Just so you know.
Why would you do that?
Because Gerald never misses.
Do you prefer
Gerald
Girth,
never
Lord?
misses. Gerald always asks the tough questions. So I don't. It's kind of like stupid to even suggest that he wouldn't. So if you want to say softer Girth, just to make it, the blow a little less.
Okay.
I mean, Gerald's always asking us, what the hell's wrong with you? I mean, that's a pretty tough question. I don't know.
All right, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you. As another reminder, we'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m., so plan to come hang out with us then. And until we see you next time, you can follow us on Twitter at PHNX_Suns. You can follow me at Lindsay Smith AZ. You can follow Saul at Saul_Bookman. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Bourget. And, of course, you can follow Espo at Espo. Espo, take us home.
I'm off to break some kneecaps and bring the dinosaurs back. Ahoy, hoy.
Hey, yo, my lifestyle Tell the Phoenix Metro. Megas in control and he ain't never gonna let go. PHNX though. Lindsay, Gerald, Espo. Saul pass the ball. We here to turn up the tempo. Got to understand me.